Hello, I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Thank you for waking up with Wesley. Let's talk about our weather pattern for this Monday, April 7th, 2025. Hey, good news. Things are changing. If you're tired of what the weather has been doing, just wait and it'll do something different. Our first alert radar this Monday morning showing the rain over Alabama, but not really over the Mississippi coast. We are going to continue to see some showers at times today, but maybe it won't be as much as we saw yesterday. There's a look at the wind speed, and notice the winds are blowing in from the northwest, so that's going to be a dry wind, unlike last week when we had that wet, moist wind, that moist air off the Gulf. This time around, we're looking at that wind coming in from the north, and that's going to be what helps us to turn our weather pattern drier. Our temperatures this morning have been in the 50s. I think the Gulfport Airport temperature sensor is on the struggle bus. There have been some errors with that one recently. So obviously the 47 sticks out and is unlike every other number. And I do think that whoever is in charge of the temperature sensor at the Gulfport Biloxi International Airport should take a look at that. I believe it involves the National Weather Service as well. But anyway, the rest of the numbers are in the 50s this morning. And they've also lost their dew point sensor at the Gulfport Airport as well. But we've got other numbers in Harrison County that show 50s in that area. So you got dew points in the 50s. That is certainly not like it was last week when we had dew points in the 70s. So this means the air feels more pleasant. And maybe you notice it now, but it could be a little hard to notice because the sky is still cloudy, the ground is still damp. But don't worry, later today as any of the clouds start to clear, the rain starts to end, that's when I think more and more of you will begin to notice just how much drier the air is today. Of course, our temperatures have cooled down and we're setting for a stretch of pleasant days ahead. I know we've got some clouds this morning, but once we get those clouds to clear out later this afternoon, maybe by this evening, then the rest of the 3-day forecast looks pretty dry. You're seeing those temperatures 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, but the mornings could be in the chilly 40s. Before we get to the rest of the forecast, let's take a look at the time lapse from yesterday afternoon showing wet weather in portions of South Mississippi. That was the view in Biloxi on Sunday afternoon. We've got a slowed down time lapse for you watching the wall of rain approach the camera lens from the west. There's that wall of rain, whoosh. It washes right over the Beau Rivage on Sunday evening, a rainy and windy time if you were out and about in portions of Biloxi on Sunday. This is the first alert radar from Sunday showing the start of the day had rain near Saucier and Wiggins. So some places woke up to rain yesterday, but many of you on the coast didn't really get much rain until we saw some storms move in from Louisiana. And that was these right here. See those storms just to the west of Slidell? Those were moving from areas west of Slidell right toward the coast at about 10 in the morning. And so that's when many of you started to get more of those downpours. As you can see, by 11 in the morning, they were hitting Hancock County, and there was a report of wind damage there, very close to the Kill. And then they got into Harrison County on the coast around noon or 1 p.m. And you can see, remember that time lapse showed them hitting Biloxi around 2 p.m. So as we move the time a little bit more, there you can see right at 2 p.m. that was when that line of storms rolled through portions of Biloxi and portions of Ocean Springs as well. It also triggered this yellow box here, a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County during the 2 o'clock hour. Unfortunately, it wasn't just a severe thunderstorm warning, but also a tornado warning as well on Sunday afternoon in portions of Jackson County. You can even see there was a report of wind damage in that area where there was an observed tornado in the eastern part of the county near Big Point and Hurley. This then moved over the Alabama line once you got to later in the afternoon. So South Mississippi was not unscathed. We did have reports of wind damage. We also had reports of flooding. You can see this report of flooding near St. Martin, and there was some extreme flooding over near Mobile. I was watching our sister station in the Mobile, Pensacola area, Fox 10 News there, and they had some incredible pictures and videos to share. People with water in their homes, high water rescues happening in portions of South Alabama. On the Mississippi coast, our highest rain totals were in the 4 to 7 inch range in portions of Jackson County, George County, and eastern Harrison County. As we take a look at the rest of the rain totals, we can see that areas in South Alabama picked up even higher rain amounts, maybe 7 to 8 inches or more near Mobile, and especially in this hotspot just to the east of Mobile in Baldwin County, Alabama, which is, like I said, where if you want to see some pretty incredible pictures and videos, you should find the Fox 10 News Facebook page. They've been sharing some of those. That's WALA Fox 10 News out of Mobile, Pensacola. So hats off to our sister station, and hearts out to all of those affected individuals who had flooding in their homes. It's just an incredible thing to see. So for the month of April so far, we've picked up 2 inches of rain in Gulfport, Biloxi. That's above the normal. And so far, the year has been slightly drier than normal, but the rain is actually kind of near normal. We had a dry February. We're having a wet April so far, although we're about to get into a period of time in which there's going to be a whole week with no rain. So April, even though it is starting off wet, will kind of level off during the second half of the month. So let's get to the forecast portion of the video now that we've taken a look at the past. And let's see. So this is a look at how your Monday shapes up. The first part of the day, cloudy, maybe some raindrops at times. The second part of the day, a few peaks of sunshine, and probably a lower chance for rain. The chances drop from 50% this morning to 20% this afternoon. It could be a little breeze at times out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we'll see temperatures, even though they're in the 50s this morning, they're probably going to rise to the 60s by this afternoon. There's a look at the futurecast showing, for the most part, the rain is mostly east of us, but you can see just at times these little straggling showers near New Orleans that might try to make a run for the Mississippi coast at times on Monday morning toward Monday midday. Look at that. You see that little area of rain that just kind of clips into Jackson County. And that's at 1 p.m., mind you. So that's why I keep the rain chance fairly elevated, even though many of you might get nothing at all. There are going to be some spots that might get a few lingering showers through the early afternoon. Then once we go to the evening, that's when all the rain's gone. Look at the clouds breaking apart, letting in some sun. Oh, it's going to be so nice as it kind of begins to paint the picture of the sunny days to come. So let's put it all together for you. Wrapping up the video with your today, tonight, tomorrow, and 7-day. Here's your today. Highs in the 60s. It will be cooler. It is going to be the coolest day we have seen in the whole month and over a week, with highs not even hitting 70 the whole day. Here's a look at tonight. 40s. These will be the first 40s we will have seen so far this month, and will also be the first 40s we've seen so far over the last week. So some 40s for a change. Might be a little shock to the system as you wake up early tomorrow morning in the 40s. But don't worry, that chill for Tuesday morning doesn't last long. And before you know it, we'll see temperatures in the 70s once we go to Tuesday afternoon. And it will be delightfully dry with that pleasant, crisp, low humidity feel. So how about this? I know how the first week of April was bumming us out with all of that wind, all of that humidity, and those temperatures near 80. But how about this for the second week of April? Yeah, it's off to a wet start on Monday morning, but we'll get things into gear by the time we get to Monday p.m. and the remainder of the week, looking at plenty of sunshine each day, high temperatures in the 70s, and no rain in sight. So those April showers, I guess, are taking a break as we move into the second part of, or the second week rather, of April. Well, thank you so much for waking up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Take care and see you again next time.